the Auburn Blitz Podcast, your direct source for all Auburn all the time with Brett Pritchard, Faith Richardson, and Randy Lee.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Auburn Blitz Podcast here on a Tuesday morning. We are glad that you joined us wherever and whenever it is that you join us each and every day on the Auburn Blitz and making Auburn Blitz part of your daily Auburn athletic intake. Yep, it's my fault. We're starting late because you can hear me. It was a lot worse earlier this morning. It's a little better. I don't know that it's much better, but it is better. So I apologize for everybody that's going to fight through this with me this morning. Faith, I'm apologizing to you too, but I'm here. Here I am.
Hey, I'm just glad you're actually feeling okay, and it's just, in your chest and in your
Right.
voice. So that's all that I can say is I'm glad that you feel fine.
Well, once again, this kind of goes to my point of this weather sucks. This time of year sucks. Why? I mean, good Lord, who wants this? Who likes this weather? So, we'll get better. I'll fight through it. That's what you got to do. You just got to persevere. But
It's a perfect time to get a carrier unit from Sensagreen for air that's warm and clean.
I need something.
Yeah.
I need to. And look, for all of you that are about to go, hey man, drink some hot tea or coffee and honey and lemon. I am already, which I don't do normally. So I am doing that now. So I'm trying, guys. That's all.
Kyle J, if you're watching this, good luck later today. He's going to be bouncing off the walls.
Yeah. I'm probably going to stay away and just let them handle whatever. I don't need to be around me. But yeah, I'll be jacked up from already a guy that's bouncy all the time.
Right?
I'm drinking 2 or 3 cups of coffee this morning.
Oh,
So
gosh.
yeah. You're probably thankful that we're not going to be doing anything together.
Steven said bourbon, lemon, and
Well, I
honey.
mean, you know what? There's plenty of that behind me, but I'm gonna try to keep it more calm.
Wait till noon, okay?
Yeah,
Then
wait, yeah, just is that the official time to do it? Hey, let's stop talking about my voice and let's start talking about the different things that are going on right now, and a lot more. Seems like every 24 hours there's more to talk about. And Alex Golesh finalizing his staff, and boy, what a great one this was. We were waiting for the tight end hire. I don't know that you could go out and find one much better. You go hire a head coach that's been a head coach for 5 years, that coached Kyle Pitts, and a long list of others that we can go through. I mean, Faith, this was a big time hire for Alex Golesh grabbing this guy. And I'm telling you, I'll kind of let you talk about some of his accolades. But man, that I thought when it came across, when you and I talked about it, I said, my gosh, now he's got 4 defensive coordinators on his staff, and he's got a head coach that he just hired as a tight ends coach.
yeah, I think this is a home run hire for Alex Golesh and for Auburn because, again, you just named, Kyle Pitts, who had a great night, I think on Thursday night this past week, but who has really done so well after college and everything, and was at Florida, the way
Right.
that he was able to help develop him. That's something that Auburn's lacked in a lot of areas and a lot of positions, but especially that tight end position. I know we've talked about it a lot, but it is finally nice to hear, a tight ends coach that has those accolades and has, the track record that Larry Scott does have. And it's, interesting that his son is also on the staff
Right.
as the defensive line analysis. But yeah, so he was the offensive coordinator at Tennessee in 2017. And, you just said he coached Kyle Pitts. Howard head coach.
He's got a lot of other ones too that he's coached, really good ones. So,
Yeah. But he coached at USF from 2006 to 2012, and he played for USF. He was Miami's interim head coach in 2015. So last hire of the completed staff for Alex Golesh, and I think that's a really good way to complete it.
Well, if there's ever a position that we needed a solid hire, it's tight end.
Yeah.
And you look at the very poor production from that position the last, I don't know, daggum, what, 10 years, maybe more. I mean, there's been flashes in the pan, but for the most part, that has been a position that you can't rely on. It was a huge part of Hugh Freeze's offense. He couldn't find the right guy. And you went out and you tried multiple guys. Some stayed hurt, some left. You went out and thought you got the guy from Maryland that was going to be a more hybrid type guy that could do it all, and he couldn't do anything. He did. Not only could he not do it all, he couldn't do anything. He couldn't block, he couldn't catch. So I don't really know what he was doing. But for the most part, when you look at it, now you've got a guy not only that is very experienced at that position, he can go recruit those guys. Like
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts, I may be off here, but I think he may have been drafted the highest tight end in NFL history. I want to say that. If I'm wrong, somebody go and tell me who it is. But I don't think there's ever been a tight end that's been drafted in the NFL higher than Kyle Pitts. You know why? Because Kyle Pitts is kind of that hybrid, Faith. Kyle Pitts is a
You're
guy
right.
that can line up at receiver. He's almost DK Metcalf looking,
Mhm.
but he also can do a lot of the things that you need a tight end to do. He's big, he's physical, and he is like if you're going to the dictionary and looking up tight end, it's Kyle Pitts' picture there. Now I know there's been some great ones throughout, but this is the guy you're getting. And he coached the Wolf guy at Tennessee when he was at Tennessee, who was probably one of the best tight ends in Tennessee history. I can go through and name now. Tennessee's had some really good tight ends, but yeah, thank you, Elizabeth. I was right.
I just said that to you.
I'm sorry, I missed it.
I said the words that you don't think I ever say. I said you're right.
So that's why it was blocked out. I don't ever hear
Probably.
that. I never hear that. So I guess I've got a filter that goes, well, she's never going to say that. So, but okay. So my apologies to you. So I was, thinking that
Yeah.
he was the highest. I didn't know what number he was, but I knew it was pretty high. But okay, not saying that he's going to bring Kyle Pitts in, but you bring a guy in that knows how to coach that position. Man, Faith, can you imagine getting production out of the tight end position for a change and what that adds to your offensive attack? Because if you're a defense over the past several years, you aren't honoring the tight end for Auburn at all. You're like, okay, we want them to target these guys because, hey, none of them can perform or produce. We're not even going to take the time to try to scheme against, that package, and it didn't work.
Yeah, again, it's been disappointing because you feel like last year you had Rivaldo Fairweather who was on and off hurt, but also again playing different positions within the tight end
Right.
position, and he was versatile, but he wasn't reliable 100% of the time.
He would make like the Cal game over in Cal. He made the catch to pretty much win the game, to keep the
Right.
drive going. You ultimately score. But then he would drop one by himself, simple catch. And you're like, and I remember there were a couple of games where, again, the inconsistency, he had all the potential, and he was kind of that guy that, body style,
Yeah.
pretty fast for his size, created some mismatches, but could not ever be consistent enough to where you go, okay, we need a first down, or we need a big play, we can go to this guy. He made some big plays, but he also dropped a lot of passes too.
That's where I feel like we say this all the time. Auburn has not had the consistency or development factor when it comes to players, but also coaches coaching these guys. And
Right.
that's honestly based him not having the consistency and not being able to make those routine catches and stuff like that. That's honestly on the coaching, and that's on the structure of what they're doing either in practice or I mean, I don't even know because you should be making those routine catches. You should be able to use your size and your speed to an advantage. And again, that's something Auburn hasn't done. They haven't used anybody's gifted abilities, God-gifted abilities that you can't coach into guys. They haven't used that as a positive or as a benefit to any of these guys.
No, they have not. So
Years and years this has been going on.
So now that it's complete, elite staff maybe could be. I'm not saying it is right now. There's a lot of SEC experience mixed in here. Some of them don't have SEC experience, but there is that factor as a head coach that you bring guys in that you're comfortable with, that you have a relationship with, and that's a lot of it too. But you've also, like you said yesterday, I believe, Faith, you said you got to have guys that understand what it's like to coach in this league. And he's done that now. He's got a good mix of those guys. He's got a couple of Auburn guys on this staff that
Where you know what it's like to play
right,
at this
right.
level.
So, from that standpoint, I mean, in this small amount of time where you're pressed for this portal window that's about to open in a couple of weeks, you had to have this in place. You had to have this finalized. And we'll talk some about recruits here in just a minute. Auburn picked up another recruit. They also had another guy get in the portal. So I think it's up to 14 now in the portal, or will be getting in the portal. And we're almost halfway to 30 already. And we still got a couple weeks. And we know, me and you know of about 3 or 4 more that we know are going to get in. So I think it's very realistic to know that you're going to be at that 30 mark, and I wouldn't be surprised if it even went higher than that. I mean, look at Florida. You and I yesterday were like, it was a ticker tape of starters. These weren't just guys like some of the ones Auburn has where it was a walk-on that earned a scholarship like Cameron King or somebody like that. These are starters for Florida that are getting the heck out of Dodge. So you and I kind of laughed. I said, it kind of is a precarious situation for us right now, but I think it may be worse at Florida in some ways.
Yeah, that's exactly what you and I were saying. We were saying at least it's not Florida. And I think throughout this entire turnover of coaching staffs, we've continued to say at least we're not Florida. And with John Summerall being the most sought after guy for Auburn for a really long time up until the 11th hour, Auburn came out on the other side. And through, that's just what you've continued to see throughout the progression of all of this.
Yeah, no doubt. And so with that being said, obviously now the full focus for Alex Golesh, this staff trying to get everything lined up for this portal window, who they've had conversations with all the players at this point. They feel confident in the ones that are going to stay at this point and the ones that are going to be exiting. So your whiteboard over here has all these columns, and you and I kind of went through. I mean, this quarterback room could be depleted. That running back room can be depleted. There are certain ones that you got to watch and that you got to make priority. Hey, look, the offensive line, you pick up a guy in the 26 class that opted out of his letter of intent with Michigan. I'll let you talk about him here in just a minute, which is a good addition. It raised Auburn's ranking a little bit, but picking up small pieces like that along the way is how you're going to have to build this in the first year. And I'll keep saying this until I'm blue in the face. You got one portal window. You do not have the luxury of saying, we'll go through spring and we'll evaluate and we'll see what else we got to add. You got to get it all done right now. It's all got to happen in this portal window coming up in a few weeks. So now that the staff is under his belt, now your primary focus is finishing out this class and filling out the holes that you got to have.
And again, I think that's where you're going to see a lot of what this coaching staff is about and how aggressive they're going to get. I know that they've already said, whoever doesn't want to be on this team and play for this team, you can go ahead and get out of here. I want somebody that's going to work hard. And again, the same goes for the coaches that the guys that they're going out to get. They're going out to get these hardworking guys. Maybe it is some of those 3 stars, maybe 4 stars that are 3 stars on some sites that want to work hard to get to play at an SEC school, that aren't just a 5-star coming to your school that is getting a check and maybe not seeing the field as much, whatever. But they're getting those grittier guys that really want to go out there and play. And so, again, I think you see in the transfer portal window, when that opens up, how aggressive they're going. We know the positions that they need to go out and get. And there's a lot of positions and spots to fill.
Right. And we will talk about some of those when we come back from this. Some of our partners, we couldn't do the program without them, and we start with Cincy Green.
Cincy Green, for air that's cool and clean over the holidays. Make sure to call Cincy Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation for air that is warm and clean. Call Cincy Green with Carrier. Turn to the experts. It is way too cold outside right now for my liking. Brett, I know for your liking too. So having a Carrier unit that is reliable, and Cincy Green for people that are just, you can trust them in your homes, trust the people that are working on, your stuff, to make sure that they're not charging you too much or getting away with anything. You want to call on Cincy Green. They are the people to call.
Absolutely. Scout Program Management, a full construction management firm in Birmingham, Alabama, and they work on all projects, municipalities, educational institutions. If you've got big budgets and big projects, you need a program management company that's going to take care of everything for you, lead you from the pre-construction phase to the finished product. Scout Program Management, they're the best in the business. Check them out online, scoutpm.com. Love those guys. Know what kind of people they are. One thing, when you hire anybody in any business, you hire their people, and you want to hire quality, trustworthy people, and Faith can back this up. Sloan and Charles and Jay and the whole company, that's who you want to be associated with. That's who you want representing your business. And so call on Scout Program Management. They're the best in the business.
Bunkers in downtown Auburn, the perfect mix of sports, food, music, and fun. They've got live music on the stage. I mean, it's one of the best places to go, and they have some of the best food too. So make sure you head over to Bunkers. Again, while it's cold and you don't want to get out there and play any golf, you might as well go over to Bunkers.
Hey, we love going to Bunkers. Always love going to Bunkers. So, and then finally here in the first segment, Alabama's premier golf cart superstore, the Cart Source. And when you put you see that? It's in bold. The Cart Source, because it's the only one. Easy Go, Cushman, Yamaha, Club Car. I had somebody just a couple of days ago, Faith, go, I'm going to check out the Cart Source because we saw it there on the Auburn Blitz podcast. And hey, I think I've talked some people into buying a golf cart for Christmas.
There you go.
Hey, you and I, can we add that to our Christmas list? We need a golf cart. We need to be able to ride around on the farms and the land that we have, and to be able to do some of the things that we like to do. And of course, if you live in a neighborhood, you can ride around, and a lot of your kids, I mean, they're safe. They can customize them however you want it. Check them out in Dadeville, 334-231-2205. If they don't have it on the lot, they can order it for you. So check them out, the Cart Source. All right. Did Marcus Davis' departure have something to do with Malcolm? I don't think so. Donald. I think that was, I mean, he had a good relationship with Marcus Davis, obviously, but don't think really that was a determining factor in Malcolm Simmons deciding to get into the portal. Tubb said, who would you say is the best tight end in Alabama this year, high school wise? We sure don't put out a lot as a state. It's a good question, Tubbs. I'd have to think about that for a bit. You know, offenses the way they are, I would have to dig around. I would have to dig around. I don't have one that just stands out to me off the top of my head right now. You know, you've seen some guys, some bigger receivers that get lined up in that position to create mismatches. A lot of times you see a H-back position in high school more than a true tight end position. So I don't know. Let me think about that, Tubbs, and I'll get back to you on that. All right, positions. And I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I mean, you start offensively with your quarterback and your running back, and Auburn's got the potential to have a completely revamped room in both. I think you hold on to Jeremiah Cobb and Omar Madsen, but who are you adding to that room? And then what does this quarterback room look like? I mean, you and I are hearing Ashton Daniels probably the best thing for him, Faith, is to get in the portal. Let's be honest about it. Especially if Byron Brown comes, I can see a path somehow for Deuce Knight and Byron Brown to share that room, because Byron Brown's got one more year at the most. And then you somehow make it where Deuce Knight is the future, and you explain to him now whether he accepts that or whatever, that time will tell. But then you could actually establish what the future looks like for your program. But if Deuce Knight decides to leave, now you're really shifting your focus to the portal, and you could be bringing in, like we had this past year, a completely different quarterback room, 3 brand new guys.
Yeah, again, that's just the way it is now, and the way that being able to transfer works and stuff, because in reality, you'd like to have a quarterback and receivers that work together for a year, 2 years, and grow and learn each other a lot better. But if Ashton Daniels does get in the portal and leave, then, you know, the receivers or some of the guys that are staying they're not going to have somebody that they've worked with. And so I agree. I think it's going to be the best thing for him to leave and hit the portal. But again, it's still Deuce Knight. We still have no idea what his
No clue. He put all his pictures back
potential
up. That mean
for
anything?
this week. So
Yep.
maybe he's in the holiday spirit.
Possibly. Dylan Raiola, the weirdness of Dylan Raiola with the I guess the enamorization with Patrick Mahomes is just weird. Like I don't know how many people feel the same way, but it's just, I understand idolizing somebody, but man, this guy has taken this thing to a whole different level. Like even his mannerisms, his
I
haircut.
get training with somebody and you learn, you know, you pick up. This is just weird. This is
an infatuation and an obsession,
obsession.
no doubt. Like stalker, weird acting, to the point where you dress up and you want to go to a party and you want to try to make people think you're Patrick Mahomes weird. So anyway, I didn't mean to go down that rabbit hole, but Dylan Raiola is available if anybody wanted to incur his weirdness. DJ Lagway met with Sumrall, and obviously it did not feel like a good conversation from everything that we read and heard. That maybe Sumrall called out his, I guess, passion and his, I don't know, work ethic. Maybe I just read all kind of different things, and maybe question where he was. And I guess DJ Lagway said, you know what, I'm getting the heck out of here, and along with a bunch of other guys that declared yesterday. And then you got Sorsby from Cincinnati, who really put up some big numbers this year. That's rumored to be going to Indiana possibly. So taking over for Fernando Mendoza, which, by the way, for all Auburn people that are watching, which I hope most of you are Auburn people, Fernando Mendoza was the quarterback, in case you forgot. They came to Auburn and threw for 247 yards and 2 touchdowns a couple of years ago when they beat Auburn 21-14. A lot of people forget that. I had somebody come up to me yesterday and they go, "Oh my God, that was him." And I'm like, "Yep, that was. That was the same guy." And he did play good, and we could not stop him. Now, our defense was part of Peyton Thorne throwing 4 picks didn't help us very much. But he came to Auburn and played well and did enough to win the game. So I just thought that was an interesting caveat. So I think you're gonna have some opportunities once again, if you're willing to spend the money, which I think you're gonna have to. Let's just say if Byron Brown doesn't get in the portal, decides to declare for the draft or whatever, you're gonna have some other guys to pick from. And I don't think we've heard the last of it. Again, with it being one portal window, you're gonna have a flood of people getting in this portal because it's the only time you can do it this year.
Again, where's all of the money going? What positions are what are you demanding out of the portal? And I think this year it's a lot. I think there's a lot of positions that need to be filled, and there's a lot of young guys that are going to be filling in, or you just have to go out there and get some seasoned guys that have experience. And again, I know we keep saying, but with the one portal window, it's so
Right.
much harder.
I can't wait. I'll be honest with you. You and I will be diving into this it'll be like a ticker tape
It will
of
be.
in and out, moving pieces. I mean, you're potentially adding 15. You could be adding 15, 16, 17 guys by the time this is all said and done to your roster. So we'll kind of see. Tubbs talking about the Buford Carrollton game. Could Clay Chalkville? That would be fun to see a Georgia Alabama state champion go against each other. Thompson. Did Thompson play Buford this year? I can't remember. They played somebody in Georgia. I can't remember if it was Buford or not, and it was close. But I think Clay Chalkville could play with about anybody with Aaron Fry at quarterback. I'm just going to be honest. That guy, he made things look so simple. So I think Clay Chalkville could play with whoever. Yes, he was interested in playing at Auburn. I do remember that. So was Lamar Jackson. I can name off several others. So was I won't go down that path. But okay, so from a recruiting standpoint, there you're going to have a lot of people to pick from. Now, how many elite guys can you go out and fill some of these holes with? We'll see. But you got to be a little bit more. You got to be a little bit more understanding of what you're going to get. Quality players. You may not get elite players, but you're going to have to go get some really quality players to fill in these holes in the roster that you're going to be missing. So,
yeah, Tubbs, you're right. They played Grayson, and
it was Grayson instead of Buford.
Okay. Yeah, and they lost 24-23 in overtime.
I knew it was close. I couldn't remember how it was, but
yeah,
Carrollton's aren't they number 1 in the country right now? They're like killing everybody. So, but Buford, obviously a powerhouse. That's going to be interesting for sure. All right, let's get to some more of our partners here on the program.
Carrollton played Parker. I remember we were talking about that.
They did.
They played Parker, and Parker got whooped 43-7.
I think that's been 2 years in a row. Carrollton and I think Parker went to them last year, and then Carrollton returned the favor. That was a rude favor to return. So,
Good Lord.
yeah,
Carrollton just
well, they're just killing everybody.
laid belt to everybody.
They have. And so they built a reputation. There's some good football over there in Georgia.
We were never in it, so
Yeah,
I wouldn't
you wouldn't know what that was like.
know.
You've been adopted over here as a Benjamin Russell Wildcat. You got to
Yeah.
experience some success this year.
But from a private school for the first 9 years of my schooling, that was bad, and then my public school being brand new, also so bad.
It just didn't work out.
No.
Hey, it is what it is. And then you carried that on into Auburn.
I just know what it's like to lose, apparently.
Man, we got to change all this. All right.
Thanks.
I'll tell you what you need to do if you don't want to lose, and that's hire Oliver Ross.
For all of your holiday events or getting ready for the spring, go ahead and call on Oliver Ross to be the professional licensed bartending service for you and for your event, whatever it might be. Call on them. They can handle 20 to 20,000 people. So whatever it might be, work convention, I don't know what you do in your free time, but call on Oliver Ross. Make sure that they're going to be the bartending service for you.
Obviously, in my free time, I need to drink hot tea, honey, and lemon. So it's gotten better. Still sound like warmed over death. Anyway, Russell Hospital, Russell Medical Center, voted one of the top 3 best hospitals in the state of Alabama. You need to come check out why. The facilities, the doctors, the caring staff, everything that you need when you're looking for medical care. And they're connected with the UAB healthcare system. And if you're trying to find anywhere better in the world than UAB Health, you're not going to find it. So when you're partnered with the best, you become the best. And so that's why Russell Medical Center is voted one of the top 3 best hospitals in the state of Alabama. Go check them out in a smaller environment. Don't have to fight the big city melee that you have to deal with in some of these big cities. And then Alex City Marine for sale, service, and storage. You don't have to necessarily buy a boat. They've got a bunch of storage. And look, right now, it's tough to find a place to store your boat. And if you leave it outside, it ain't going to look good very long because the sun will damage it. You need indoor storage for your boat. They've got storage to accommodate about any size boat that you potentially have. And while you're there, if you're looking at a new boat, they've got these beautiful, as you can see in the picture, blackfin center consoles in multiple colors that you can take down to the coast. You can be in the bay, you can be offshore, or you can go to the lake and you can be like the top dog. You can buy a Landau or Manitou pontoon boat. They got a full line of those. I'm telling you, nobody's got a better selection. They can order you something too if you don't see what you like on the lot. So go down 280 right there on the left as you're heading toward Birmingham, and you'll find them. And you'll see all the boats out there, and you'll be like, yep, I can see myself in one of those. Let me go ahead and just purchase that. So, all right, Faith, as we close out here, again, as we move through the rest of the week, we'll kind of see if some other pieces come into play, some other players that will maybe declare that they're going to get in. You've got a playoff, the playoff starting coming up this Friday. Obviously, we don't have a dog in that fight, but we'll be talking about that and kind of how all that lays out. And then Auburn will be back in action on Saturday for basketball. So looking forward to that against Purdue. I mean, another top-ranked opponent. And we'll see how Auburn's able to play against Purdue in Indianapolis. We do want to tell everybody we'll be on location a couple of times this week. We'll be back over in Auburn at Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine tomorrow. You're already smiling about that.
Always.
Before I even said the name, you were smiling. So,
hey, I just know it. So I'm excited.
Yep. And they're just so great. I mean, Kathy and Jeff and the whole group, Paul, and we just appreciate all of them so much. And then on Friday, Stacy and Brett, we appreciate them. We'll be at Lake Martin Pizza on Highway 63, not the Dayville location, but Alex City location this time. And it will be our last on location before the new year as we head into 2026. And this year went by fast.
It did. It's crazy. I can't believe it's already over. Like,
Right.
actually.
And let me say this, and you're going to kill me when I say this, but I'm not meaning it in a bad way. You've officially been out of Auburn for a year. So congratulations. Seriously.
Thank you.
It's been a good year. It has been a good year.
It has.
So, I mean, I know a lot of people when I graduated a year out, they were going, hey, man, I still ain't figured out what I want to do. And I mean, so you've had a good year, and so it's a big deal. That's your 1 year anniversary out of school. That's a big deal. So I know you're like, oh God, I'm old and all that kind of stuff. Like, no, you're not even close. I'm saying it as a compliment. So,
thank you.
So, and I know that for a lot of people, as we just had another graduation, right?
Yeah.
So another batch of college grads out there in the real world. So, just growing up. Everybody's growing up.
Something like that.
Whatever you want to call it. All right. Hey, look, let me say I appreciate all of you that stuck through this with me today. I know I sound like warmed over death. It will be better tomorrow. I promise. This morning, it was non-existent. I mean, I was like, Faith, you're going to have to do a solo show because I'm not – I mean, I can whisper, I guess. And for some of you may go, man, I would much rather hear that than you. But anyway, I apologize. He did get a little bit better as the show went on. Hopefully I won't sound like I smoked cigarettes for 25 years tomorrow when we get on this thing. So.
Oh, man.
I'll out with that. So.
Yeah, we'll finish there. I hope everyone has the best day ever. Stay warm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Stay warm. Don't get sick. I mean, this weather sucks. Hey, it's going to be 70 Friday.
What?
Yeah. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Go look at that. I think I heard it was going to be 70 Friday.
All right. On Sunday, a high of 66.
Okay. Sunday, 68 is what I'm seeing. Friday's high of 59. So, but hey, I knew it was coming at some point. I thought I heard it. Hey,
Next Thursday, a high of 70.
That's Christmas, right?
It is. Christmas, a high of 70.
70 degrees. People will be wearing shorts. Unreal.
Wouldn't be the first time.
And you want to know why people sound like crap? And go from 25 to 75.
It'll probably change tomorrow, so we'll see.
It will. It will. All right, guys. Reminder, Auburn Blitz at noon coming up, so make sure y'all check that out, and then we'll be back with you tomorrow again on location at noon at Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. We appreciate them so much. Again, like Faith said, everybody have an awesome day, and we'll see you tomorrow.